M0FXB, welcome to my video about the Baofeng DM-1801 DMR and FM VHF UHF radio. M0FXB, just looking at the Baofeng DM-1801, then there's some really good info here on miclaw.com. I found some downloads information and firmware etc on Baofeng Radioka. So I'll put these links in the description. So I've downloaded the CPS from here, scroll down, and it says 1801 here. And this is the zip. So we've extracted it to a file, which we go to here, and this is what we've got. So what we're going to do is we're going to double click the exe here, and we're going to open this up. If it doesn't open up in English, go to the third one across. Is it third? There it is there, and just select English. So 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth one across. If it's all in Chinese or Japanese. So let's just do the basics. So let's get in there to general settings, and let's get our call sign and DMR ID in there. So M0FXB, and then the most important one is DMR number 2341437. So that's really the most important thing. Don't really think I've changed anything. Next thing, let's create some contacts, because that's our talk groups. So we'll click digital contact here. Now click add, and you get a new one. When you double click the 4, you can name the group. So let's say we're going to do local, which is talk group 9, and then importantly we have to put in here 9. That's more, the number is more important than the name. There's one created. Let's create another one as well. Let's go add. We'll call this one, click on the far left, we'll call this one chat, and we'll put it in as 2350. Always select group call. So we'll go here, 2350, but you know, there's thousands of talk groups. Create the ones that you need. Okay, we've got 2 contacts, digital contacts. We need that. Next thing we need to do is create channels, talk group channels that link to either repeaters or hotspots. So we'll double click channel. Now these are the ones here by default, so let's just change one. So number 1, let's change that. So double click the blue section. Let's create a digital channel for our hotspot. So we might as well call it hotspot. And we'll do the frequency at 430 for now. And then we can just click it across like that. We've got simplex frequency. Next thing is it's at home, so let's do low power level. Let's do the timeout about 180, something like that. That's all there. So the next thing is really important, or it won't work. You need to select your contact. So we're going to choose local, which is talk group 9, and we're going to do for my hotspot slot 2 and color code 1. So really, that's that channel created. Now we need to put it into a zone so that we're going to find it. So double click zone. Let's double click one of these zones here. Let's click it again. Let's rename it. Actually, rename. We'll call it hotspot. So we right clicked it. We'll click hotspot, like so. Right, and now we can look here. We'll just see all these channels. We don't need all them. So let's select one and keep clicking delete all the way until they vanish. And then we can now scroll to the bottom on the left side. The left side is channels that you've created, and one of them was called hotspot. We can click that and click add. That's now been put inside the zone that's called hotspot. Okay, let's rename the other zone. So we'll click it and we'll rename it. Right click, rename, and we'll call that one repeaters. So we could put all our repeaters in there, but we still have to create lots of channels. So let's create a repeater channel. So let's go to the next channel down, number 2, double click. And let's do this one as an analog channel. And we'll call it GB3WR, GB3WR. And we know that the receive of that one is 145.600, 3 knots. Click it across, but we need to change that because the input, the transmit, is actually 145,000. And we'll keep the power high, and we'll do the timeout 180 again. We need to get in our CTCSS. So here we'll do it on receive and transmit for 94.8. TX here, 94.8. So that's RX tone 94.8, TX tone. And it's already default 12.5 on the bandwidth and the frequency. We haven't touched that. So look, we've now created an analog repeater. So we need to put that into our zone. So what we do is double click up here where it says repeaters. Here's our zone that's called repeaters. Now again, we want to delete all this stuff here. So we're going to go delete all the way out. We don't want any of this. We only really want to add in there GB3WR or any other repeater. Add. There you go. Okay, so that's that. We've got a repeater in our zone and a hotspot in our hotspot zone. Let's add one more zone. So we'll go right click here and click add, and it creates a new zone. Then we'll right click again and we'll rename it to Digi Repeaters. Yeah, Digi Repeater. So a DMR repeater. Now we haven't created a channel for that yet, but we've got the zone, so we can go into our radio, change zones, and find the different zones that contain all the different channels we've created. So let's go to channel 3. And we're going to make this one a digital one, so keep it digital, and we're going to call it GB7BD, which is a digital repeater, and we're going to put the frequency, the input frequency of 430.850, and we'll click it across, but the actual transmit is actually 43, I'm actually guessing 8, I think 550, it's near enough, because we're not going to use it. We'll keep the power high. Now we want to we're going to do a different contact. So let's create another contact just to remind you how to do that. So go up to contacts here and click right click and then click add group call. And it's come up as 6, so we'll double click it and we're going to call it worldwide, which is 91. Worldwide, we'll call it worldwide 91 because there are 2. And then here we're just going to put call ID as 91. That's the most important thing, and it says group call there. Right, so we've created an extra contact. So this repeater, we want it to talk group 91 when we key up on the repeater or connect it. Now the color code for that repeater is 3, and the repeater slot is 1. What's a repeater slot? It's basically half the channel, so you can use half the channel at a time. It gets more use for DMR. Right, so we've created our worldwide digital channel. We need to put it into the zone. So double click Digi Repeaters here on the zone section. And then let's look for GB7BD, which is here, and let's add it into our zone. So it's now in this zone. So like I said, when we go to the radio now and we select that zone, the only channel that will be in it will be GB7BD. Now obviously you can create loads of channels. You could have 10 Digi Repeaters, 10 analog repeaters, and 5 hotspots, and you'll be able to find them easily. So once you've done that, all you do is I would save it somewhere just so you've got it. So save it to a file that's called Baofeng DM-1801 save. So you've got a copy of that, and you can actually reload that by going file. Let's do this. Go file, open, and then you will find that file that you've just saved here, which is this one. And when you open it, all this stuff will still be there. So the last important thing is we want to write that to our radio. Now before you do this, you need to have downloaded the correct USB driver for the cable on the DM-1801, which apparently is different than the GD77. So have a look at the links I've put in to download the correct driver so that it shows up in the COM port here. Right click device manager, and you just want to know that you've connected that Baofeng in, and you can see it. Once you've done that, then you can select program write. You can write to the radio because it will find it. I haven't done firmware on this radio, so I haven't got a clue how to do that. So I can't even actually find the firmware. So let me know how you do the firmware, but I got a feeling there's a separate little file that you use for firmware. So I hope this helps you with your Baofeng DM-1801. Please like and subscribe my channel, and thanks for watching.